Hey guys, welcome back. So, man, it feels like I'm doing a crap load of commentaries here, but that's because I am. My gosh, I did 6 Sams, Laval Quasar, the fast version of Laval Quasar, and Doppelagents all in the course of 3 days. So anyway, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to actually try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and that is respond to 2 people who asked me to do a deck, well, a video on understanding some shit. So one of them was Skull the Summoned. I don't know what your real name is, but he asked about my I assume that he watched one of my Dragunity videos. I think that's what it was, and he asked if I could make a like a Majestic Star Dragon version of it, because Dragunities are extremely good to bring. In fact, it's the only way I would ever try to bring out Majestic Star Dragon. And also, only do Majestic Star Dragon, not Majestic Red Dragon, because Majestic Red Dragons, you're going to notice that it does no good. So, I'll go into that. That's the reason why you see a side deck down here. Also, for Mr. Ace in the Hole, he wanted me to sort of give a video on instructions of how a side deck works. It's actually not that difficult of how to understand how a side deck works or what the purpose of a side deck is. It's obviously like, so I was running Exodia at Locals tournament, right? So a lot of people would side in Mind Crush or Macrocosmos because they're faggots, you know, and they run shit that removes stuff from play. I mean, God, no! I hate Macrocosmos so much. It's worse than Mullen Glacia. I mean, Mullen Glacia can hurt Exodia quite a bit, but I've survived against Mullen Glacia. Macrocosmos, there's just no surviving that. God, it's terrible. Anyway, so I'm going to show you, like, I've got 1 side deck, but I've got 2 different versions. Like, the side deck is cut in half, sort of. Like, 6 of these cards down here go to another version of the deck, and 7 of these other cards, well, actually, wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, right, because of the synchro. Yeah, anyway. So I'll go into the explanation of it all. But first, actually, let me explain Dragunities. Actually, let me kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Let me explain pure Dragunities first. Because this is my final deck for... This is what it's going to look like. This is what I'm going to take to tournament, essentially, for Dragunities, if I ever decided to take it to tournament. I don't know if I'll do Lava Quasar first or this one. I'm definitely going to wait for Exodia to see what they do to 1 Day of Peace in September. So that's the reason why I'm thinking I might take this deck first. Because I actually just bought a Windrose and a Thunder and Dragon. Because I just realized how boss these things were, if you include Tempest. But anyway, so... Alright, let's get started. This is Dragunities. This is pure Dragunities that I run. I mean, yeah, you see a Blackwing in there, but this is as pure as it's going to get versus running a Majestic or a Tempest build. So Red MD, this guy is so freaking boss. I normally don't special summon him by his, you know, you banish a monster or banish a dragon type on your side of the field to summon him. I usually summon him through a Tums effect from my deck, and thus I summon him in face-up defense mode because he will have 0 attack. I'll show you some videos later on of my pure Dragunity build, my Tempest build, and oh god, maybe one go around of Majestic Star Dragon. It's very hard to keep a Majestic Star Dragon video because either people back out when it's summoned, they back out after they realize what it does if you try to actually activate stuff against it, or that it's not that entertaining of a duel, one of the 3. But anyway, so Red MD, he's really good because once per turn, you get to special summon a Dragon-type monster from your graveyard or from your hand to the field. So a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll special summon like a level 6 from my grave because I have a Phalanx face up on the field. You'll see that in the future. To go into a level 8 Synchro, like Stardust. A lot of the time it's Stardust or Scrap Dragon. But anyway, the reason why this guy is also so godly in a Majestic Star Dragon build is because, say your opponent had like a Mirror Force and a Torrential Tribute face down or something. As soon as Majestic... Well, I don't know why they would wait for Torrential Tribute. But anyway, let's say you summon Majestic Star Dragon and they don't like it, and you attack. Well, you activate Majestic Star, and you're attacking a monster, say. Majestic Star Dragon activates his effect, so then he will negate the activation of like the Mirror Force, destroy all spells and traps, all monsters on your front side of the field, and leave them wide open. Now, next turn, if Red MD is still on the field, which sometimes he can survive a couple turns, you get a special summon Majestic Star Dragon back, and then do it again, and do it again. And essentially, your opponent will then realize, I need to get rid of this level 10 or level... What is he, level 10? He 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, let's say level 10. This level 10 motherfucker right here. They need to get rid of him, because he's going to keep bringing back your beat stick over and over and over again. But also, he's really good because if Levitin's in the grave, I can special summon Levitin from the grave. Levitin will then use his effect to bring a Phalanx and equip it to himself, and then special summon Phalanx through Phalanx's effect, and then take Phalanx and Levitin and immediately go into Trident Dragon and attack for game, you know, if the field's wide open. Destroy 2 cards on your side of the field. Usually it's a Dragon Ravine and the useless 0 attack, 0 defense Red MD. And attack for 9,000. That's usually what I do. That's the reason why I have Levitin in here, because he's really nice for OTKs, and I OTK a lot. I'd say 1 out of 5 duels that I win with Dragunities is because of an OTK, or that I play with Dragunities is because of an OTK. I don't win all my duels, obviously. That'd be getting a little cocky. But yeah, so that's the reason why I only have 1 Levitin. I don't special summon him with his own effect, which you can read it if you'd like. I'm not going to go into it, but his own effect is really gay, or I shouldn't say that. It's very queer. There you go. As in different. Yeah, not as in homosexual. Anyway, so Dragunity Armor Mistletoe. I just call him Mistletoe because it's shorter. I run 3 of them because of consistency. You usually want to start off with this guy in your hand first turn. That's the reason why I used to run 2 and now I run 3. This guy is so good. It's crazy, man. It's just crazy. He's like a Dux, but level 6. And he's really nice. Now, a lot of people don't understand that when they try to summon this, I don't have him in my extra deck, but this Dragunity Knight Barca, they try using Mistletoe and a Phalanx, and you can't do that, people. You can't do that. That's the reason why Barca is so hard to summon. So I watch all these YouTube videos of people trying to pull that off, and I'm like, dude, you just cheated. Holy fucking shit. Oh, of course they're dueling in real life. I mean, YGO Pro would never let you get away with that. But yeah, so that's the reason why. Because a lot of times, like, okay, say I had a Dux. It's very easy to get a Dux in your hand and a Phalanx in the grave your first turn. So you summon Dux, use Phalanx, go into Vajrayana. Vajrayana brings out a Phalanx and attaches it, right? Now, Phalanx special summons himself. Now you sacrifice Phalanx to special summon Mistletoe, and then Mistletoe brings out Phalanx and attaches it to itself. And then Phalanx special summons itself again. Now you've got 2 level 6s, which I go into a Tum. Now I've got a Tum on the field with 2 XYZ materials and Phalanx still on the field. Detach a Tum to bring out Red MD to my side of the field in defense mode, because he's going to have 0 attack, 0 defense. Use Red MD's effect to bring back that Mistletoe or Vajrayana that I just attached to my side of the field, and then use that Phalanx that's still on my side of the field to go into a Stardust Dragon or something. So now I have a Stardust, a Red MD, and an Atum, all because I had that Mistletoe in my hand that I started off with. Now later on down the road, you're going to notice that once you get Zephyros and Mistletoe in your hand first turn, oh my gosh, your opponent better pack some life jackets, because he's about to get sunk for sure. But anyway, and this reason why Mistletoe is so freaking good. Also, you'll notice that with the Tempest build, I'll talk about that once I swap out everything. I'll show you how to side deck, and then I'll swap everything out. Why Mistletoe is so good combined with Tempest. So Blackwing Zephyros. The reason why I run 2 of them is because I like to get it in my hand as quickly as possible. I can use Gators to get it to my hand. I'll explain that later. But you don't want 3, because his effect, you'll notice... excuse me. If this card is in your graveyard, you can return 1 face-up card you control to the hand to special summon this card from the graveyard and take 400 damage, yada yada. Now, you can only use his effect once per duel, which means if you draw the second Zephyros, he's pretty much just discard fodder for your Ravine. So here's the reason why this guy is so good. Who cares about taking 400 damage, honestly? The only reason why they included that in there is if you're running Blackwing Dragon, Blackwing Dragon could absorb that damage as a counter. But anyway, so Blackwing Zephyros, let's say I start off with a Ravine and a Blackwing Zephyros my first turn. That's already a Stardust Dragon, a Red MD, and a Tum on my side of the field. Just because I started off with a Ravine or Terraforming, doesn't matter. And a Zephyros. Because I'll activate Ravine, ditch Zephyros to add a Phalanx to my hand. Activate Zephyros' effect to bounce Ravine back to my hand. Activate Ravine again, and activate its effect to add a level 4 Dragunity to my hand by ditching the Phalanx as the cost, bringing a Dux to my hand. Now I'll play Dux, special summon Phalanx, take Phalanx and Dux go into Vajrayana, which will equip Phalanx to her, and then special summon Phalanx again, take Phalanx and Zephyros go into another Vajrayana, and then that Vajrayana will have a Phalanx or an Achilles, depending on if they're in the graveyard, which is attached to him or her. I always call Vajrayana a she. Anyway, so now you have 2 Vajrayanas and a Phalanx on your side of the field. 2 Vajrayanas go into an Atum. Atum bring out Red MD. Red MD special summon one of the Vajrayanas, and then that remaining Phalanx and the Vajrayana that you just special summoned by Red MD's effect will now go into a Stardust Dragon, and you have the exact same combo that just happened with Mistletoe. And imagine if you had a Mistletoe in your hand. You would have been able to bring out another level 6. So you could have gone into a Stardust Dragon, and instead of a Tum, you could have gone into a Photon Strike Bouncer and start negating shit that, you know, their monster effects and whatnot. That would be awesome. Like you could negate Xian's effect. So yeah, get right, Xian. Anyway. So that's the reason why Zephyros is so good. Remember, it's once per duel. So after that, he's just discard fodder for Ravine. Every Dragunity deck runs 3 Duxes. You have to. This is the main guy that you're bringing to your hand through Dragon Ravine's effect. And Phalanx, almost every Dragunity... You could get away with running only 2 Phalanxes. I wouldn't. I would run 5 Dragon Tuners because I run 2 cards of Consonance. So if you want all of your tuners in the fucking grave. You don't want them in the hand. You can't do anything with them in your hand because monsters like Legionnaire and Dux, they need to attach them from the grave, and then you can special summon them if they're like Phalanx to your side of the field. You can't do anything with them if they're in your hand. That's the reason why Ravine is so great, because if they are in your hand, you can discard them to bring a level 4 or lower Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand, such as a Legionnaire or a Dux. So, the reason why I love Dragunities, and I can't believe they're so fucking underrated, is because you can pull off Dux. Special summon Phalanx. Phalanx and Dux go into Vajrayana. Vajrayana special summons Phalanx and goes into a Stardust or whatever. Or you could pop whatever monster is equipped to Vajrayana to double her attack for that turn. This thing makes level 6s so freaking easily, and it makes level 8s so freaking easily. Now, let me talk about Legionnaire. Now you know Dux. His other effect is, you know, he gains 200 attack for each face-up Dragunity monster I control. I never let him stay on the field long enough to actually attack with him, unless I get Veilered, I guess. But normally his main objective is bringing out Vajrayana, and then Vajrayana brings out other stuff. So the reason why I have 2 Achilles is because I have 2 Legionnaires. I wouldn't run 3 Legionnaires, I wouldn't run 3 Achilles, I wouldn't run 1 Achilles, and I wouldn't run 1 Legionnaire in a pure Dragunity build. Because this is a really good thing that Legionnaire can do. For instance, I've had like a Blackluster Soldier face up on the field and then a face down bottomless trap hole. So the beauty of this freaking guy is Legionnaire can get over a bottomless trap hole because he's only got 1200 attack. So what I'll do is I'll summon Legionnaire. There's an Achilles in my grave. I'll then attach Achilles to Legionnaire because Legionnaire is exactly like a Dux. He can attach any dragon type Dragunity tuner to him in the spell and trap card zone, and then, you know, do whatever. The only problem is if you were to attach a Phalanx and go into Synchro with Legionnaire, the best you can do is a level 5. And really, I mean, this magical android should be a Catastor, but Catastor is so fucking much money. I can only afford an android in real life, and I'm not going to cheat myself on the game. I'm going to only play with a magical android, not a Catastor. So let me actually get into the reason why Legionnaire is even in this fucking deck. So Legionnaire, he can attach an Acklys to him instead of a Phalanx, and then he can essentially destroy. Let's see, what does his actually thing say? You can send one Dragunity card from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard to select one face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So I would select the Acklys that's attached to him, send it to the graveyard to destroy his Blackluster Soldier that's face-up on the field. Then Acklys says, when this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to a monster, aka Legionnaire, select one card on the field and destroy it. Thus, I would then be targeting his face-down spell or trap, which was his bottomless that I was telling you about, because Legionnaire could get over a bottomless. So you essentially destroy two extremely good cards on his side of the field with this little puny guy and this other little puny guy. And then, of course, you can attack him for 1,200 and whatnot. But usually this guy is used just to clear two cards from my opponent's side of the field. It's like an MST and a mini Dark Hole wrapped up into one card. I mean, technically it's two cards, but you only have to draw Legionnaire. Acklys should already be in your grave. And I get my tuners into my grave normally through Cards of Consonance or Dragon Ravine. I rarely set them for fodder, as blockers. But they also make good blockers, Card can't run over Acklys or Phalanx. I don't know what Card would be attacking, but I'm just saying look at their defense. It's okay. Anyway, so that's what Acklys does. Also, if Acklys is normal summon, you can special summon one Dragunity monster from your hand, then equip it with this card. So if Legionnaire and Acklys are in my hand, I can normal summon Acklys, which then special summons Legionnaire and puts Acklys as the equipped card for Legionnaire, and then you would do exactly what you just did before. Detach, blow up two cards, essentially. Acklys doesn't have to be in the graveyard, but I'm saying a lot of times that's where Acklys is going to be, because that's where I'm going to put him. Anyway, so Phalanx, you heard me talk about Phalanx being as an equip card and then special summoning himself. That's because once per turn, while this card is equipped to a monster as an equipped card by a card effect, you can special summon this card. That's the reason why this motherfucker was like a $9 card for the longest time. I actually bought all three of mine for $5 a piece by getting really lucky. Actually, two of them I traded for, but they were the equivalent of about $5. Anyway, so Effect Veiler. I run two Effect Veilers because it actually adds to Red Nova Dragon's attack. I forgot about that. Whenever I summon Red Nova Dragon, I think of tuners adding to his attack as just Dragon tuners. But actually, Effect Veiler also does that. So I run an Effect Veiler because people do stuff that I don't like them to do. Thus, Effect Veiler is necessary. So I run two of them for consistency. I mean, if it's a dead card in your hand, honestly, this deck is so good about, if you have dead cards in your hand, discard it for Dragon Ravine and add a level 4 Dragunity type monster from your deck to your hand, or send one Dragon type monster from your deck to the graveyard. Either one. Now, for the latter effect, it's just going to be these Dragon type tuners that I'm going to be sending to the grave. I'm obviously not going to send a Mistletoe to the grave. But yeah. So Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, the Holy Trinity, Cards of Consonance to help draw cards, also to get those freaking tuners in the grave where they belong. Pot of Avarice, because a lot of the times I run through Vajrayanas quite quickly, and even level 8s I run through quite quickly. And my Dragunity Duxes, and my Mistletoes, I need to start putting them back into the deck so I can draw them again. I tell you, by probably the second turn, if you start off with a Ravine and a Zephyros your first turn, by your second turn, you'll have more than 5 monsters in the grave that you can put back with Pot of Avarice and then draw 2 cards. How awesome is that? Now, make sure when you're doing Pot of Avarice you don't add back monsters like Acklys or Phalanx. You want those monsters to stay in the grave if possible. Just FYI. Terraforming, because Dragon Ravine is such a necessary card. This is the backbone of every Dragunity deck. Ravine, Phalanx, and Dux are the backbone of every... And Vajrayana, they're the backbone of every... Dragunity deck. So that's the reason why I run Terraforming, because you want to get Dragon Ravine to your hand ASAP. And at the very worst, if a Ravine's already on your field and you have a Terraforming in your hand, you can ditch it for Ravine's effect, add a level 4 low Dragunity monster to your hand. So it's really good. 2 MSTs because you know I hate back row. You know I absolutely hate it. That's the reason why I have 2 MSTs, really. So yeah. 2 Infernal Reckless Summonings. So when I first introduced this idea to my friend who introduced me to Dragunities, he called me crazy! Can you believe that? Yeah, that's crazy. But anyway. The reason why I have Infernal Reckless Summoning is because I wanted to do something cool, and Infernal Reckless Summon does exactly that. It is so freaking cool. So let's say your opponent has a Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Okay, no, let's say your opponent has an Abyss Megalo on your side of the field. I'm going to be generous and give them an Abyss Megalo. He could possibly have 3 Abyss Megalos total in his deck, and I would be providing him with a lot of advantage, but I'll tell you what, to be able to bring out Red Nova Dragon, it's worth it. So here's what happens. He has an Abyss Megalo on your side of the field. I have a Dux in my hand, or I can get a Dux to my hand, and I've got a Phalanx in the grave, or I can get a Phalanx in the grave. I summon Dux. Bring out Phalanx. Go into Vadriana. Have Vadriana on the field. Now I special summon Phalanx by his own effect. Activate Infernal Reckless Summoning. Special summon 2 Phalanx from my grave, deck, or hand to my side of the field. And of course your opponent also gets to special summon as many cards from their hand, deck, or graveyard as the that has the same name as the monster that's face up. So they special summon 3 Abyss Megalos in attack mode. Why? Because they don't realize what's coming. So now you take Vadriana and one of those 3 Phalanxes and go into Red Dragon Archfiend. Now you take Red Dragon Archfiend and the other 2 Phalanxes and you go into Red Nova Dragon. Red Nova Dragon will have 5,000 attack. He can't be destroyed and he can negate attacks. He's pretty boss. I use him normally to get over stuff like Obelisk, because no one likes an Obelisk looking at them. But anyway, so yeah, Red Nova Dragon, he is my big hitter in this deck. Trident Dragon is pretty good. He's my other big hitter, but Red Nova Dragon's the biggest of them all. That's why he's 12 fucking stars. He's the I'm trying to think. I think there are only 2 level 12 monsters. Synchros, at least. Hold on, let me check. I think it's just Quasar and Red Nova Dragon. Oh, wow. Yeah, hold on. Monster 12. Get rid of Majestic Star right now. Okay. So obviously, I need a... Yeah, of course, Malefic Truth Dragon is, but let me check Synchros. That's what I meant to do. Oh, right, of course, TG Halberd Cannon. How could I forget? He's in my fucking Lava Quasar deck. Yeah, so there's only 3 level 12 Synchros. That's the reason why he's so good. Anyway, so that's the whole point of Infernal Reckless Summon. I don't run 3 because it gets cloggy. I only run 2. I mean, if honestly you can't use it this turn and you need to get a Dragunity to your hand, ditch it for a Ravine. I mean, you should know by now, if you don't like the cards that are in your hand, ditch it for a Ravine. Grab something to your hand that you do like. Anyway, so 3 Ravines. Once per turn during your main phase, you can discard 1 card to activate one of these effects. Either add a level 4 low Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand. So usually what I'll do is like a Phalanx if I'm later going to ditch it for like later on if I'm going to ditch it. Or I'm mainly adding Legionnaire rarely. Mainly it's Dux. That's the reason why I run 3 Dux and not 3 Legionnaire. Or I can send 1 Dragon type monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is either going to be Achilles or Phalanx. So yeah, I only run 4 traps. I used to run 5. I used to have a Dark Bribe in here, but then... Oh shit, I skipped right over him. Let me go back to him afterwards. Bottomless Trapple. Pretty good. Stops annoying shit. Mirror Force, pretty good. Stops annoying shit. Starlight Road, because I added a 2nd Stardust here. So it's pretty good. Stops annoying shit. And Solemn Judgment, really good. Stops almost anything. Stops a fucking train. Like, God says no. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for my traps. I don't run many traps because people like MST and shit all the fucking time. And although my Ravine usually baits them with their MSTs, I don't want them destroying my traps as well. And I sacrifice trap space for monster space. Actually, spell space. Look at how many fucking spells I have. But no, this is the best setup I have. I never really have had a problem with you know, not having enough traps, let's put it that way. So, yeah, this guy I actually just stumbled upon, along with, you know, Thunder and Dragon. Windrose, the Elemental Lord. I can't believe my friend who's running Tempest has not run into this guy. This guy is motherfucking amazing. Like, he is a Harpy's Feather Duster when he hits the field. So you know Mullen Glacier, you know Grand Soil. Their effects are you need 5 of a certain type of monster. Since he's a wind monster, you obviously need 5 wind monsters in your graveyard. All of the Dragunity monsters, not Zephyros, all of the Dragunity monsters are wind. Every single one of them. All of them. Gators, Vajrayana, all of them are wind. So there's a very fat chance, or a good chance, I don't know why I said fat, a very good chance that I will have 5 wind monsters in my graveyard by my second turn. So if I top deck this guy, all I have to do is wait 1 turn and then let my opponent set up their spells and traps just to fucking destroy it. I mean, short of a Solemn Warning, this guy is destroying all of his monsters, whether or not he torrential tributes Windrose or not. So he's really good. Now, the disadvantage of most of, like Mullen Glacier, there probably is no real disadvantage of him. Mullen Glacier, the Elemental Lord that Mermail Atlanteans run, the guy, when he hits the field, he is essentially a delinquent duo. He takes 2 cards from your opponent's hand at random and throws them into the graveyard. That is amazing. If he got torrential tributed, you probably wouldn't care. Your opponent is severely crippled by that. Now, your opponent is also pretty crippled by a Harpy's Feather Duster, because this destroys all your opponents. So when he's special summoned by his own effect, which is the only way you can special summon him, and he can't be normal summoned or set. So when this card is special summoned, destroy all spell trap cards your opponent controls. Harpy's Feather Duster right there. If you don't know what Harpy's Feather Duster is, you should go look it up. Anyway, so that's the reason why this guy is so good. Now, the disadvantage with all of the Elemental Lords are its last effect. If this card leaves the field, skip the battle phase of your next turn. This is an AoA deck, all-out assault. If this deck cannot attack for a turn, I'm at a huge disadvantage. So I actually was thinking to myself, because I remember Dimensional Fissure does not banish XYZ material monsters if they're detached. Even though they're monsters, they're not counted as monsters because they're XYZ materials. So if they got detached and went to the grave, they would go to the grave and not the removed from play pile. So I was thinking maybe that works with Windrose, the Elemental Lord, as well. I know that stuff like Forbidden Chalice or what am I trying to think of? Skill Drain would negate his effect, and when he leaves the field, you would not skip your next battle phase, because his effect is no longer active while he's on the field, and once he's in the graveyard, then it doesn't matter because his effect wasn't active while it was on the field. If he is attached as an XYZ material, then technically he is still on the field, but he's no longer a monster. So there is actually a way for him to still reap the benefits of, you know, all of his good effects, and then not leave the field while at the same time having his effect rendered null and void. So, yeah, that's the reason why I have Thunder and Dragon in here. It's easy to make. It's easy as shit to make rank or level 8s. Plus, I have Leviathan if I ever, you know, wanted to use him, and then Windrose to go into Thunder and Dragon. So you just summoned Windrose, which blew over all their spells and traps. Then you summon Thunder End, which blows over all their monsters. Chances are, if Windrose is on the field, I'm only going to have one other level 8 on the field, which I probably did with Dux, Phalanx, into Vajrayana, Phalanx, into level 8. Then level 8, into Thunder and Dragon. So I cleared all their spells and traps. Now Thunder and Dragon's going to clear all of their monsters, because Thunder and Dragon is essentially a dark hole, missing him, of course. So that's the reason why Windrose is so freaking good. And I'm at the 30-minute mark, so man, this is going to be hard to keep under 50 minutes, I guess. Anyway, so let me go through the extra deck. Actually, what I'll do... Oh, God. Let me just go through it right now, and then I'll split it up accordingly in my editing program. So Red Nova Dragon, already told you, he's so boss. He gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard, including Effect Veiler. And it can't be destroyed by any spell cards, any trap cards, any monster effect cards. So when your opponent declares an attack, you can select it, then remove this card from play and negate the attack. During the end phase, special summon this card that was removed by this effect. So he's essentially like a magic cylinder without the drastic part of it. He can stop attacks, which is extremely good. Trident Dragon, he's so good because he's so easy to bring out in this deck. All you need is Leviathan going into Phalanx, and you destroy 2 useless cards. I already told you it's usually a Ravine and a Red MD, which has 0 attack, for him to be able to attack 3 times. So now you need to make sure that the cards that you want to be destroyed are already out on the field, because as soon as he is Synchro Summoned, because it says when this card is Synchro Summoned, not if this card is Synchro Summoned. As soon as he hits the field, you have to choose, do you want to destroy 2 cards, do you want to destroy 1 card, do you want to destroy 0 cards to add additional attacks to this monster's attack for this turn. So if you wanted to place a useless MST face down, you need to do it before Trident Dragon is summoned. That way you can sacrifice that MST. Because you can also sacrifice face down cards. You can sacrifice a bottomless trapple that you know you're never going to use, or a face up Dragon Ravine, or a face up monster, or a face down monster. It doesn't specify. It just says destroy up to 2 cards you control. He's very good. Red Dragon Archfiend, I mainly only have him in here to get out Red Nova, but he's also good at clearing if your opponent stalls a lot, like if he's got Marshmallow. Oh god, Marshmallow would hurt though. But yeah, getting rid of Spirit Reapers, anything that can't be destroyed by battle. I've actually used him to destroy multiple Pilgrim of the Ice Barriers, because they can't be destroyed by monsters with 1900 attack or more. So he's really good for that. Normally my level 8s I'm going into are Stardust for obvious reasons, Scrap Dragon for an obvious reason, and I run 2 Stardusts. One of them that I can keep bringing back because I special summoned it properly. One of them that I won't be able to bring back because I special summoned it through Starlight Road. Gators, okay, so I told you I'd talk about him. He's like a mini Dragon Ravine. Once per turn during your main phase, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Dragon type or Winged Beast type monster from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 Dragon type or Winged Beast type monster. So you can actually add Zephyros to your hand, ditch Zephyros, and then next turn use Zephyros' effect to, like, you know, special summon himself, bouncing Ravine back to your hand, activating Ravine again, etc. Ravine says add 1 level 4 or lower Dragunity type monster. Gators doesn't specify. It doesn't have to be Dragunity. It could be a Dragon or a Winged Beast type of any type. Blackwing or Dragunity or, you know, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. He's got 2400 attack, so he's pretty good as a level 6. Now, the only thing is, you know, if I take Ducks and Phalanx and I go into Gators, you might get spoiled after a while of summoning Vadriana, and Vadriana automatically brings out, like, Phalanx. You might get spoiled and forget that Gators will not bring out a Phalanx. He will activate his effect, and then all you have left on your side of the field is a level 6. You won't have a level 8, because you can't make the level 8. Only Vadriana can. But I run 3 Vadrianas because of that. One of the things is, if I don't need to go into a level 8, if I want to kill my opponent right now, say he has 3,500 life points left, and he's got a monster that's standing between you and victory. So what you can do is Ducks into Phalanx, Vadriana, grab an Acklys from the graveyard and attach it to her. Now her effect says, when this card is Synchro Summoned, you can select 1 level 3 or lower Dragon type, Dragunity type, Dragunity monster in the graveyard and equip it to this as an equip. Just like Ducks, but she has a second effect that's different from Ducks. Once per turn, you can send 1 equipped card, equipped to this card, to the graveyard to double this card's attack until the end phase. So sacrifice the Acklys that's attached to her. Double her to 3,800 attack. Then, because Acklys just got sent to the graveyard while it's equipped to her, Acklys' effect goes off. Use Acklys' effect to destroy that card, that monster that's standing between you and victory. Destroy that monster. Now Vadriana has a clear shot at your opponent's life points. Attack directly for 3,800. That's game. So I'm just telling you that. Vadriana is really good. You have to run 3 of her. Just trust me. You want to run 3 of her. Magical Android. The only reason why she's even in here is because Catastrophe is too expensive, and I need at least 1 level 5 just in case if all I'm left with is the Legionnaire in my hand, and I need to attack for game, and 2,400 attack will do it. That's it. Atom, the reason why... I rarely summon Photon Strike Bouncer. They're both rank 6s, but Atom is the main way that I go. Once per turn, you can detach an XYZ material, special summon one Dragon-type monster from your deck, but its attack and defense goes to 0. So that's normally I summon him so I can get his effect. I can also summon a Leviathan from my deck. Now Leviathan's attack and defense will be 0, but Leviathan's effect will go off. Because it doesn't matter where Leviathan is special summoned from. He will always bring in a Dragunity type monster from your graveyard and attach it to him. Mistletoe has to be special summoned from the hand. Leviathan can be special summoned from the graveyard, from the hand. I don't ever special summon from the hand. I normally special summon him from the grave with Red MD or from the deck with a Tum. Use Leviathan's effect, bring Phalanx, attach it to him, special summon Phalanx, go into a Trident Dragon, and then sacrifice Ravine and a Tum. Now the reason why I'll sacrifice a Tum to be able to have Trident Dragon attack 3 times for 9,000 is because a Tum, when he activates his effect, he will then lose the ability to attack this turn. Now that's pretty bad, but if you still want him to be able to attack, that's the reason why I have Gaia Dragon. Gaia Dragon's a rank 7, but I don't use it for that. You can also XYZ summon this card by using a rank 5 or 6 XYZ material monster, aka a Tum. And then, of course, if this attacks a defense position monster, it inflicts piercing damage to your opponent. So if a Tum loses the ability to attack, and you still want to attack, just overlay Gaia Dragon on top of a Tum. Now you have a 2600 attack monster that can attack and even inflict piercing damage. That's the reason why Gaia Dragon is like $10. It's expensive. Photon Strike Bouncer. He used to be extremely expensive, and then they reprinted him in 10. Unfortunately, I bought him like 2 weeks before they reprinted him, and I didn't even know they were going to reprint him. So I paid like $14. Secret rare from Galactic Overlord. Anyway, so 2 level 6 monsters. He's the alternative to a Tum. Once per turn during either player's turn, when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, aka a Junk Synchron, a Dragunity Dux, an Elemental Lord, as long as it's activated on their side of the field. For instance, wait, hold on. Do Elemental Dragons? I don't think they activate their effects on their side of the field. Okay, maybe not for them. But like Abyss Megalo if he tries to activate his effect, or if High Priestess Prophecy tries to activate her effect. You can detach one XYZ material from this card, negate the effect, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Not only do you negate the effect, but you also inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So you stop High Priestess of Prophecy from activating her effect, and then you inflict 1,000 damage. So yeah, anyway, that's the reason why he's pretty good. And he's got 27 attack, so he's actually quite nice. So Thunder and Dragon, I already told you how I would special summon him normally. Once per turn, detach an XYZ material monster from this card, destroy all monsters on the field. And he's got 3,000 attack. He's like a Blue Eyes almost, except he's a Thunder and Dragon. So that's pretty much it for the main deck. Obviously, I'm going to have to split this video up, because this is getting extremely long. I think I'm going to split this video up. No, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. So yeah, that's pure Dragunities in a nutshell. Yeah, so I actually decided that I am just going to go ahead and split this up. That's the reason why I cut off the video. So you saw the pure Dragunities, like I told you. And next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to address the Majestic Star Dragon. And then I think I'll be able to wrap up all in one segment the Majestic Star Dragon side decking, as well as the Tempest Dragon Dragunity build side decking. That way you'll be able to see both of those. And then I'm going to split it up into 3 parts, and then in the 3rd part I'll actually have the dueling, of where I had a few practice duels with each kind of deck. So I'll try to have like 3 duels per deck, with pure Dragunities, with Majestic, and also with the Tempest build, because the Tempest build is so freaking good. You really should try it out. If you're really into Dragunities, then don't just look at my deck. You know, there's tons of other people out there that have some Dragunity ideas. I really like my build because it's the most consistent I've ever seen. Back when I started trying Dragunities, people would run a lot of traps and like Forbidden Lances to try to protect them. But to be honest, you're not going to want to run that much in terms of traps to protect them, or even Forbidden Lances. Forbidden Lance is just too costly in my case, because you lose 800 points to save yourself from a Mirror Force, and a lot of times I'm trying to get over a monster anyway, so it wouldn't work. But I'm just saying. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I will talk to y'all later, and I'll just let the song play out for the rest of the time. So see ya, thanks, and goodbye.